Hey everybody, what is up? I'm here again to walk through one of our newer templates. This is a basic bookkeeping template. It's similar to like the income statements that we've had before, but with a lot more features, a lot more capabilities to really dig down into your small business or side hustle to really understand what's going on, to track your expenses, and to do it in a very quick, easy way, saving you time because your time is important. You want to be working on your store. You don't want to be doing bookkeeping. You don't want to do accounting. You want to do your store. And so this template is designed to save you time, but to still really give you all the features to really know what's going on and trying to find ways to make more profit for your company than what you currently are. And that's really the goal in the end, is to save you time and to save you money. So we're going to walk through this. If you've already purchased this and you're kind of using this as a tutorial, thank you for your purchase. I really appreciate it. It goes a long way on our shop. If you're coming from YouTube to view this, or if you are coming from Etsy, because you looked at the link and you want to see how this thing functions, thank you for coming over, and I hope that you like the product and will consider buying it when we're done. But with really no other delay here, let's go ahead and go to the template. So a few tabs that you can see at the bottom. Actually, let me move my video so you can see the tabs. There are several tabs here at the bottom. Instructions, setup, dashboard, income statement, register. We're going to go through each one so you can see what they do and go for there. So really, like I said, here's the instructions that we have. We're going to skip that right now, and we're going to go straight into the setup. So the first page you have is setup. This is where you can update your company name. You can update the account names as you go. So let's just say it says ABC Company now, but let's say DF Company. Just do the next couple letters in the alphabet. If you click here and you go over to the dashboard, you can see actually it's changing the name there. You go over to the income statement. It changes it throughout the entire, let me get to the monthly income statement. It changes everything across the board here. So you set your company name up here, and then these different revenue accounts, cost of sales accounts, expense accounts. You can change these and customize. If I change one of these, let me just change this to bookkeeping template, since that's kind of what we're selling here. If you go over to the income statement, you can see now it changes over on the dashboard in some of the places here. If we go right here, now you can see bookkeeping template. Now for today, I'm going to actually undo that name change because there's actually data in here. Something that is very critical about this, like I said, you want to go in here and you want to rename your accounts before you start entering transactions, because the way the system accumulates all of the information, all the transactions that you input into the register when we get to that point, if you input a bunch of stuff with a name and then you change the name on here, you would then have to go and actually go back and change the names on all of the accounts that you've already inputted on. It's kind of a pain in the butt. If you don't do it, the thing will not read right. So it's really important to kind of look through here, input the account names or the account categories, whatever you want to call these, before you get started. And like I said, if for some reason you need to change it and you're having trouble, direct message me on Etsy or go to Etsy, find my email address and email me. I can help you. Also, something just real critical here, I can add more revenue accounts or cost of sales accounts or expense accounts if you need it. It doesn't take more than a few seconds. So if you do need more accounts than what this is, more than 4 products or 5 cost of sales or roughly 18 expense accounts, if you need more, just message me either before or after your purchase. You can share your Google Sheet template with me, and I can easily add it. Like I said, it takes me just a few seconds. It's a quick thing, but I just want to make it easier to have sort of a set amount to start with. So these are the ones we're going to keep these because, like I said, there's data in here because I want you to see what the reports look like as you go. So now let's go ahead. We're going to skip the dashboard. We're going to skip the income statement. We're going to go to the register because this is kind of where the whole system works. And you see I have a bunch of expenses, a bunch of revenue expense, cost of sales are actually in the bottom here. There's a bunch of stuff pre-filled because I want to show you guys what this looks like. Let me actually delete this. So, and I want to show you what happens. So let's take our setup and actually set the month. So if you go to the dashboard and you set your current month right there, set your current year, we're going to do 2022. We're going to do March 2022. The reason I'm doing March 2022 is because there's no actual transactions in this template right now for March. What I want to do is go ahead and enter a transaction for March. As you can see, there's no transactions, and show you how it kind of automatically updates. So let's go ahead over here to the register. We're going to enter a transaction for 3/15/2021, and we're going to enter, let's just say, a revenue number, and I'm going to pick product 2, and I'll put it in for $1,000. And let's pick another one. We'll do 3/21/2021. Let's do a cost of sales. And let's say it's material, and let's say that's $500. And then finally, let's go ahead and put it in one expense so that we can show you here. So let's do 3/8/2021. And I'm just putting in different dates to show you that it works regardless of what date you actually put in. And put material purchase expense. Let's put wages. There we go. So notice one thing I thought was that I would like to note is when you select it here, notice that these accounts change to that specific group. And that's something I wanted to show that's real critical. You're only going to see the accounts or the categories, whatever you like to call these, for each one of the groups that you pick. It varies based off there, which is kind of a nice feature. It makes it easier to pick the transactions. It also ensures that everything correctly goes to the correct group on there. But let's go ahead and put a number here, 300. And now let's go ahead and over to our dashboard and let's look at March. I think it's still calculating. Oh, I just realized I put these in for 2021 because I, for some reason, still am living in 2021. I apologize. This is what happens when you do this live. There we go. Let's put 22. Now let's see this over here. Now you can see, right, there we go. You can see your income, your cost of sales, your expenses, your net income. Now if you look at the income statement, which is a real nice, clean income statement, you can see $1,000 on product 2. We have cost of sale materials of $500, and we got wages of $300. And one thing I should note here is that actually you have a year to date, and also if we put some stuff in March 2021, we'd see it right here as well, and we'd also see the year to date. This income statement's a pretty common form of an income statement. So if you've not done a lot of accounting, income statements really just a report that shows your sales and your expenses. Usually there's revenue, cost of sales, and expenses. It's real common. In my day job, in my accounting job, this is very similar to the type of income statement I would use on a day-to-day basis. I kind of based this report based off sort of the best practices that I've learned over 15 plus years of accounting experience, and this is one of the cleaner, nicer ones. This makes a really good printout if for some reason you need to present it to a bank or for any other reason. This is a nice clean report that you can use. One thing to note, I know all over here says NA because we don't have any, but also notice that this report also shows differences in the cost from year over year, and it also shows you sort of a percent difference, which is a nice little readout. Now, if we also look at the dashboard, like I said, we were there. The dashboard's got several sections to look at. Like I said, this is one place you control your current month and your current year at the very top there. You can see you actually have a nice chart here that sort of shows all the work that you're kind of doing at this time. And then down here, if you look, you got an easy to read kind of report as you go. Notice the net income's kind of really, really low here because we didn't put a lot of revenue in there at that time, so it's really low. We're only like at $200, and it's going kind of small there on that thread. But what we let's actually make this a bigger number so we can see that it did adjust. Let's make this 10,000, so you can see there we go. Now you can actually see that the revenue number kind of this chart changed with what we just put in there. And so then you see down here, you can see your income, cost of sales, and expenses. You can see the prior year as well. And some of the things that are neat, things that I found that in my experience that I like to have is, one, I like to see what the total for the year is. That's what this total year to date is. Same for the prior year. I am always a big fan of seeing averages so that I can tell if I'm performing above or below the average for the year. I also put in here what I call the annualized average, because this is something actually doing my own side Etsy shop. This is something that I found that I kind of like to look at. And what this does is it looks at it and says, if I do my monthly average every month until the end of the year, this is how much in total revenue I would have for the entire year. That also sort of tells you, if you look at the difference between the annualized average and the total, how much money you expect to make through the rest of the year. So I think those are some real nice data points to look at that, frankly, I look at every day when I'm doing work in this field. And so I thought they were important for this report. There's also, this is one of my favorite areas, is there's a sales breakdown. I want to go down here, a cost of sales breakdown, an expense summary. And they're really the same thing. I kind of have a little bit of a difference in the label. But if you go to right here, you can actually select your product. And it's going to show you information like number of orders, things like that. And because you have 2 boxes, you can actually select multiple products. Like right now, there's not much in product 3. But if you want to compare your product 1 or product 2, you could do that right there. Now, what's also kind of neat is there's these bar charts here comparing the current year to the prior year. So if just to show you that these change, let's change product 1. See how that changed right there? And then if I change this over to product 2, down here this chart changes. Those are kind of nice little features that I've always found with understanding what's going on. And I put 2 products together side by side like this with kind of the same schedule so that you can compare different products to see how they're doing. One thing again is I've learned in kind of working in my little Etsy shop, my little side businesses, is that comparing different listings, comparing things, and learning from one over another is kind of important for being successful. Now this little comparison, that was a revenue comparison up there, or a sales comparison. This is your cost of sales, and it's the same features. You can look at all your various types of costs that you have and understand if there's anything that you need to modify in any different way. And again, same charts. And then again down here, we have all the various expense accounts that you can click. And down here it updates those as well. And so, like I said, I think this is a nice, clean dashboard. One of the reasons I like it is because, in my opinion, sometimes some of these templates I've looked at that other people are listing, sometimes I see data thrown onto a template just for data's sake. And that's not something that I want to do. I don't want to just give you charts and graphs that don't mean anything. I want to make them meaningful and understandable. And so I just use generally my personal experience in business and accounting for what are the day-to-day things that I'm looking at to make sure that the business that I work for or my small business is successful. And that's what I've tried to pick out here is those quick, easy data points and charts that really show you how to succeed or where you need to work on. And that's what I try to do with these. Now, we're going to go back to the screen. There's one more tab that I want to show here. And this is the a monthly income statement tab. I've had this report on several of my different templates, but I do want to show it. I'm going to just zoom this out a little bit. Let me zoom. There we go. I think that's a little easier to see. So this is just a monthly income statement that just shows you each month, shows you all the different expenses that you have. You can actually see here those transactions we put in before. You can see them right there. Something just to note also, there is a prior year. So you can actually look at the prior year as well. That's 2021. This is 2022. Now, something that is new, something that I have added especially to this template as I go, because I felt like, again, this is one of those data points that I find myself using more and more and more, is this right here, the year-to-date, the monthly average, and the annualized average. And actually, let me freeze this so we can really see across here. It says I can't do it because I'm virtual. That's all right. Let me just zoom out. There we go. That's perfect, actually. That shows the all the schedule. One of the things I like about this is it shows a year-to-date, the monthly average, and the annualized average, which is, again, sort of the same thing we were discussing the last time with, just taking the monthly average and timesing it by 12 to show you, if you continue to do the average through the rest of the year, this is what it would look like. Again, I think this is one of probably the biggest asset to me. I think small businesses kind of take for granted. And I know myself just in my Etsy shop, there's always times where I either take the 7-day average of sales, or I take the monthly average sales, or 2-month average of sales. I try and figure out what that means I'm going to make by the end of the year. So in this case, what I really want to do is save you the time doing the math on your own and just give you that number. And so That's really it. That is this new template. I believe it's up right now on Etsy for $8.75. So not a lot of money, but has a lot of really great features. We're going to be building some similar templates to this one that have some bigger features, some things that help you to, dive in deeper, especially into your sales and your cost of sales. We're going to be building those, as well. We'll also probably do a little more of a more base, stripped down base version of this, where maybe we take the cost of sales at. But this was sort of the standard bookkeeping template that I wanted to build, and to really have some nice features working on it. So if you like this, please consider going and shopping on our shop. I'll put the link to this product in the product description. I'll also put a link to our shop so you can see all of our other products. Please take a look at our shop. Not only do we have things like this, we have even simpler, more basic income statements, profit and loss statements, monthly income statements. We do a lot of rental income statements. If you're someone who owns a rental company that are really well, they sell really well. People have a lot of compliments about those. We also have wedding planners, kind of all-in-one wedding planners to plan your budget, to plan your guest list. We have some self-standing guest list templates that do some really cool things to help calculate who's coming, what meals they're doing, or what meals you need to kind of have from a count of, is it a steak dinner or a chicken dinner? And also it allows you to integrate your seating chart into it. So a lot of great features, a lot of great templates on there. We're trying to add these as we go. Granted, this is a side job, not my day job, so we're a little slow in building the templates. But take a look at our templates. Keep looking for new ones, and I'll try and keep putting tutorials on here. Thanks for going through this with me. I hope to see you again and show you some really cool products soon. Thank you, guys.